Hey guys, it is the first Monday in June, which means two things for you. I'll be doing a deck study on the Templar Knights deck of bicycle cards, as well as giving you the results of last month's contest, which I'm sorry was a very shortened version of a contest. It would only lasted a week. But I do have a winner, which I'll reveal at the end of the video, so you guys get to sit through another dissertation. And I'm sorry these things go long. You know, they're on the better part of 10 minutes, but I like to spend more time looking at design aspects and typography and things like that. And I just don't want to flip the deck open, show you the box, and show you the cards. I want to have you guys learn something, which is why I tend to ramble on about things. But again, I like to go more in depth, and I like to think I go a little more in depth than anyone else on YouTube when looking at these decks. So, let me know if I'm going too long. Leave comments. Let me know if you like the longer reviews, or what I'm going to start calling them deck studies, because it's more, it's more of a deck review. Like I said, I like to get a little more in depth. And to quickly give you a little background on me, I should have done this at the start, but I didn't. I do have a major in graphic design. I've studied design. I've studied art history. I've studied topography. So I come from maybe of a little different background than magicians, or someone that just grabs a deck and wants to show it to you. I have a little bit more in depth of a background. So that's when when I talk about design and negative space and color. And I want to let you know what the font they're using on the deck is. That's where it's coming from. So again, let me know if these things are going too long. I know I put some out there in the better part of 10, 12 minutes. So but this is how I want to do it. And if you guys like it, subscribe. Let me know. Follow me on Facebook again at Decks for Dummies, and we'll keep it moving. So again, today's deck study is going to be the Templar Knights deck. And today's history lesson, I guess, or what we're going to take from this is I want to give you a little background on the Templars. They're a really cool organization if you've studied history. They're a really important part of the Crusades and Jerusalem's history, I guess. If you follow that sort of thing, where they got their start and how they got their start was in the early 12th century. A group formed to protect pilgrims going from Europe to the Holy Land, which was taken over, over through Christianity. So people that wanted to take religious pilgrimages from Europe to the Holy Land were protected. This group followed them as kind of a Secret Service type thing. From there, they got very powerful. They got big. They more or less ruled Europe for the better part of 300 years. They were an army. They were like a modern day special forces unit almost. They started the early forms of banking. Taking in trade. They had one of the first navies, so they could travel more easily from country to country throughout Europe and through the Holy Land. They had their headquarters right inside the temple in Jerusalem, right in Solomon's temple, so they had access to ancient documents, early Jewish stuff, treasures, things like that. They've been linked to things from the Holy Grail to the Shroud of Turin. So as when you hear the treasure, the Templar Knights treasure, that's what they're talking about, things like that. So they're shrouded in mystery. There's not a whole lot known about them, but that's kind of a little bit of a background on the Knights Templar. Sometime in the early 14th century, I think in 1306, I want to say, King Philip from France, in accordance with the Pope, thought the Templars were getting a little too big for their britches. So they signed the orders to have them exterminated, and they went, they said they were, studying witchcraft and all this stuff, and they had them, they rounded up the Templars, murdered them, burned them at the stake, ran them out of Europe, and where they went, nobody knows. Again, it's all mystery and secrets and things like that. Some people say they stayed around. They might have, turned into, an organization called the Illuminati. Others say they turned into what is known as the modern day Freemasons or the Masons. Whatever. If you believe in that kind of stuff, it is what it is. So there's your history lesson on the Templars. They're really cool if you want to study it. But let's get into the deck study as far as the deck goes. Here's the box design, which is a really cool box. It is awesome. The best part of the deck, because the deck itself is actually pretty terrible, to be honest. I was really disappointed in it, but let's do the good parts here first. As you can see there's the type font, which is a theme throughout the deck. The Templar Knights is written in a text called Sophia. It was designed by a man named Matthew Carter, which has got that old style. It's a really cool font to play around with. It's got a lot of different styles or different letters. There's 4 different E's, and it's all capital. There's 3 different A's. It's a really cool text if you want to look at it and research it. You can see the Templar Knight helmet with the swords crossing it and the wings and the blood dripping down. Really cool box. It's white and red, which are the main colors of the Templars. They wore all white robes. They draped their horses in white sheets, and they had the red Templar cross. So let me find it on here. Right here on the side, you can see the shield with the Templar cross on it, which is I guess their uniform logo. So there's the side that says the Templar Knights with their design on it. Again, all red and white, which is the colors, as I said before. On the other side of the box, air cushion finish, made in the USA. It's an air cushion finish. It's the bicycle deck, so it's got the air cushion finish. And again, it's all in the Sophia type font. On the top of the box, it just says poker with, again, the knight helmet there. It's got a gold seal on it, if you guys can see that, which is different. A lot of them just come in your basic black seal. So the bottom of the box there's a cool feature here. Got legalese on one side. The other side's got a QPR, which if you scan it with a smartphone will take you to the Diavoli website, which gives you their breakdown. They got cards on there that you can view. Like I said, they've done the Templar deck. They've done the Genesis deck, which I had a study on a couple weeks ago. They've got Coffin Fodder, which I'll be doing a study on in a few weeks. They've got a couple tattoo decks, which are really wild. And then, so check that out. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen one of these on a deck before, so that was a new one for me. The back design on the other side of the pack is right here, which is not the deck or the back design that's actually on the deck, which I'll get into in 1 second. But it's a pretty cool design. It's got the helmets with the crossing swords. It's got some crosses. It's got some other instruments of pain. You can see it says Templar Knights right there on the top. But now here's where the whole deck loses it as far as in a design element. Again, keeping the red and white colors in mind. The deck's actually all black and gold, which it's just amazing. I don't understand it whatsoever. You can see before I get into that, let me just show you this real quick. I almost forgot. It's got a 9 of clubs reveal. It's got the 9 there, and the club design, which is a really wild club design, which I hate it, frankly, but there you can see there, if you're into reveals on the box, which I'm not, I've never used them before. Again, more legalese on the flap. So there's the box. Let's get into the cards here. Again, the border's all black. The faces of the cards are all black with gold. It's really hideous, to be honest. I don't like it at all. You can see where it's kind of fraying on the sides already. If you can pick that up or not. You can see there. You spread through them, and even on the tops, you can see where it's fraying. Well, the black borders do that. They really show the wear, which I don't like. It is what it is. The black design just completely loses me. I hate it. And you do get a few gaff cards in here. Let's go through them. The first one, it's a pretty cool card. Actually, it's a 12 of diamonds. If you've got a special trick which involves a 12 of diamonds, it's a great card. If you don't, well, you figure out a way to use it. There's one there. The next one you get is a 6 of hearts, 4 of hearts, So you can see the 6 there, and the 4 right there. So you use that as a trick card if you like. The next odd card you get is the 3 of clubs, which again is this hideous club logo with the all black background, which is terrible. But the 3 is missing, as you can see right there. Missing 3. And this is actually the 3 of clubs that comes with the deck. This is not an extra card. This is your real 3 of clubs, just to keep that in mind. Now the 2 coolest cards on the deck, or the best cards on the deck, are the 2 jokers, which I'll show you right here. And they're 2 different jokers, which I don't like, but again, they're pretty cool. You got the crown there with the axes, the blood dripping down, the Joker, Templar Knights, and that nice Sophia text, really cool. The other Joker is the helmet on the shield with the Templar cross behind it, with the wings again. United States Playing Card Company on the bottom there, legalese, Sophia text, very nice. Coolest part of the deck, and then the rest of it, again, is just bad. I don't like it at all. Here's your Ace of Spades, which is one of the worst Ace of Spades I have. It's really small in the middle. The Templar cross, which is, you know, it's big with the Templars, and it's small and hidden. You can't even see half of it because the spade is in the way. It's really, so look at all the wasted space they used here. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, the ace is a little wider than the regular numbers and letters. But again, it's awful. I hate it. It's, again, one of my worst Ace of Spades I've seen. You know, bleh, thumbs down. Here are the regular cards. You can see the all black with the red with the gold trim. I hate the gold trim. Again, don't understand why. And then the 3 doesn't have the gold trim, so the numbers and letters are really hard to see in the corners. Everything else has got trimmer on it, but the numbers, I don't understand. Anyway, here's another card here. Again, if I hold it down here, you can't even barely see what the number is. Look at that. It just fades into the black. Really dark. I mean, the gold looks okay, I guess, around the red, but again, I just don't understand. I hate it. Here's your Ace of Clubs. Again, this really awkward club-looking card. Way too much black. Again, bad. Let me show you some face cards here. Let me just flip through these. I'll just pull a bunch off. And these are really weird looking. They've got white backgrounds. So again, they're bordered cards with a white background. It's got a Renaissance type feel, Art Deco type feel with these weird gold trimmed pips. I don't get it. I hate it. I hate the white background. I was expecting all white cards with, you know, maybe a lot of, you know, some red in it to fit with the Templar theme. This goes way beyond. You know, if you research the Templars, you don't see black and gold and all this other goofy stuff. It's red, white, you know, knight stuff. And this is just, it doesn't coordinate at all. If I was designing this deck, I wouldn't even come close to thinking about anything like this. These white face cards just drive me crazy. I hate them. Some of the worst face cards, again, that I've seen. It's just, it gets lost on me. Anyway, I've rambled on enough about how bad the deck is. You know, and again, here are some of the other cards, as you can see, really weird looking things. It's just, I don't get it from a design aspect. It's a cool theme. It was a cool idea. The black, again, the all black, it shows the wear and tear very soon into the deck. I'm not even going to talk about the handling. It's a bicycle deck. It handles just like any other deck would. So take that for what it's worth. And that there, you guys, is your deck study on the Templar Knights deck of bicycle cards. On to the good stuff. I've rambled on long enough about how much I hate this deck. But again, not all deck studies are going to be good ones. But the winner of the contest from last month is Harry Byron. I picked him at random, through random selection, and I was pretty happy that his name came up, to be honest, because he was actually my first subscriber to my channel. So Harry, thanks, brother man, for being with me from the beginning. Send me your information, you know, through YouTube, or message me on Facebook, give me your address, and I'll mail those out to you tomorrow. And I'll have another video up tomorrow introducing next month's contest. So stay with me, guys. Thanks a lot. I've rambled on long enough, and we'll see you out there. Thanks.